you are very good at seeing something and then turning it into a concept or a model that is easy to understand. So giving it a name and then explaining it to others. And so that's a perfect lead in. Let's talk about the Extimint formula. What's the Extimint formula?
I think I'll start off with just the concept of minting. And for probably most of the listeners in the space, we understand what minting is. Basically creating and sort of having an asset, whether it's NFT or something else, on the blockchain, right? I'm intentionally making it very simple, probably technically inaccurate. So don't quote me. I'm not pretending like I'm, super technically accurate with a lot of my concepts, because comprehensibility is very important, right? So trading off a little bit of that accuracy for the comprehensibility for a larger audience is important here. As it stands today, typically what you do to mint something, easiest example is NFTs, you click a few buttons, you connect your wallet, and actually what happens is when you click mint, and it probably costs something at minimum gas, you actually are interacting, your wallet is interacting, and by extension, you are interacting with a smart contract, and you are using the mint function. And by doing that, you create, let's say, this new NFT on the blockchain. Great, that's yours forever until you decide to do something else with it. I don't know what percentage, but let's just say 99 or more than 99% of minting interactions function in this way. Few mouse clicks, boom, you have the thing. And what happens there is you have this model, you have this formula, and let's call it X to mint. In this case, it's click to mint, interact to mint. What we're starting to see is other models here. And why I'm saying X to mint is if you treat that input as a variable, you actually can do other things in order to mint, let's say, an NFT. And there's a lot of examples over the past weeks and months, and there have been many others in the past, don't get me wrong, but I think it's happening more en masse. And I think it's becoming very clear to individuals like myself that are observing a trend happening where you can do other things.
Can you give us an example of a X to Y formula from Web 2 or from previous marketing growth tactics?
Yeah, definitely. So one that came to mind when I wanted to explain X to Y specifically was actually from my childhood. It's a program from, the cereal industry called Box Tops for Education. So to explain the TLDR of what's going on there, and has evolved over time, is back in the day, let's say a few decades ago, on the top of every cereal box, or at least I think General Mills, there was this little sort of cutout where you can cut out a portion of the cereal box, and there's this little Box Tops for Education. I don't remember the exact numbers, but if you cut out each one of those, General Mills or the cereal company would donate 5 cents or maybe 25 cents to educational initiatives and nonprofit organizations to push education, which is super important. So if we were to use that X to Y formula, what you were doing is you were cutting to donate, right? Bear with me, right? That sounds a little crazy, but that actually sort of fits that formula, right? You're doing something to get an outcome, and it feels good. You're basically donating by cutting up a portion of a box that you already bought to eat cereal with, right? So what does the 2023 version of that look like today? First of all, Box Tops for Education still exists today, right? You aren't cutting the box anymore, right? We're in sort of the modern era, right? Much more digital. But what you do is you scan the barcode now. But the outcome is the same. When you scan the barcode, you download an app or you submit it, that gets counted on the cereal company's side, and then they donate it. So that's a win all around. That's a win for the nonprofits. That's a win for the cereal company, right? They're doing good stuff. And that's a win for the consumer because they're feeling good. They're giving back. That is scan to donate. So we just talked about, let's say, cut and like mail to donate, let's say. Now it's scan to donate. So if you sort of port that over, instead of donating, you're minting. And then there's a lot more examples.